Welcome to another active stretch and recovery with core moves. So today we're going to do a Pilates sequence that's really good for stretching out the body. So it's nothing too challenging. It's not very long. It's 26 minutes. Sorry, it is a bit long. But it's really nice and relaxing, and it's a really good way to stretch out your body so that you can create stronger and more functional movement patterns. A lot of people say that they're not very flexible, and so they don't do Pilates or yoga when actually they should be doing Pilates or yoga so that they can increase their flexibility and thereby reduce their risk of getting injured. So let's get started. We're going to start standing up on our mat, and we're going to start by stacking and scanning the body. So you want your heels to come directly underneath your sit bones or in line with those ASIs in the front of your hips, those little bony landmarks there, and then your toes just to drop out nice and relaxed. And then you're just going to contract through the quads without snapping the knees back. So lifting the quads up, pulling the belly in, connecting the glutes, drawing the shoulders down and back, and lengthening through the whole crown of the head. From there, we're going to do a gentle roll down. So you're going to nod your chin and slowly peel the back of your head away from the wall behind you. But you don't want to jam your chin into your chest, so you want to maintain the space of about an apple or a tennis ball between your chin and your sternum. As you slowly flex your spine forward, pulling the belly button in towards the spine, your body is active in this roll down. So you're slowly flexing forward until you can't flex forward anymore. Then you're going to take a nice deep inhale into the back of your rib cage, and then as you exhale, find the back line of your body. Find your glutes and your core to help peel your body back up, stacking your hips over your ankles, your ribs over your hips, your shoulders over your ribs, and your head over your shoulders. From there, we're going to nod our chin, roll forward just a little bit this time until our hands slide down and can touch our knees. From there, you're going to bend the knees, begin to lengthen the spine, stick out the bum, and lift the chest so you come into this chair pose. Reach your arms out and up towards the sky, push into the feet, then lift the heels away from the floor. Turn the palms to face the front of the room, sweep your arms out wide to the side, and then lower the heels as you bring your palms in towards your knees. Bend your knees, coming back into that chair position. Knees touch your toes, belly's pulled in. Then sweep the hands up. As you sweep up, push through the bum, through the floor. Peel those heels away from the floor. Find that strength in the foot. Reach the palms out to the side as they face forward, creating a nice circular movement in the shoulders. Lower the heels, hands towards the hips. One more time, bend those knees, reach the hands up overhead. So when you reach those hands, keep the rib cage pulled down, knit it close and tight together so you don't extend the spine. Then push into the legs, peel the heels away from the floor. Reach the palms out to the side, facing forward, nice and wide through the shoulders, finding that connection in your belly and your core. And as they come towards your hips, lower those heels. Let's do that the opposite direction. So we're going to bend the knees, and then we're going to reach the arms out to the side. Once you're in your T, begin to push into the feet. Lift those heels, palms come facing each other, directly overhead. Lower the heels, lower the hands, sit your body down into chair. Open your arms out to a T. Push into the feet, sweep the hands up overhead, lift the heels, palms face each other. Pull the hands in front of the chest, squat the body down into your chair. Now we're going to stand up tall, bring your hands down by your sides, and let's try that roll down again. Nodding the chin. Don't jam it in. Pull the belly back. Keep the weight over the ankles until you can't get any more flexion in your upper thoracic spine. And then begin to pull the weight forward. So your weight isn't in your heels, it's connected through the whole base of the foot. Toes and heels equally pushing into the floor. Nice and relaxed, arches of the feet lifting up. And then just hang down in that forward fold. And then take an inhale, exhale, roll the spine back up. Pulling that belly button in like somebody's punched you in the belly. Shoulders are relaxed, keeping them away from your ears. Use your bum to stack the body back up. Hips come forward and then lengthen the spine one vertebrae at a time, feeling that string pulling through the middle of your spine till you're standing nice and tall. In this nice and tall, let's peel those heels and slowly lower them down. Well, that was a bit faster than slow. And nod your chin again. A little bit of space, scooping the abs, rolling your body down. One vertebrae at a time, and you should feel like your spine is nice and warmed up now. So from here, we're going to stay in this forward fold, and we're going to walk our knees. Now you can join your hands into your elbows, or you can let them dangle, but let your head be heavy right between your arms. And you just gently draw in one knee and then the other, allowing a little movement in that sacroiliac joint. Okay, we create a lot of tension in that joint, and a lot of people end up with knee issues and ankle issues because of their sacrum, or their sacroiliac joint, not necessarily because of their back, or they don't feel it in their back. So just take your time to walk out that space. And then when you're ready, still both knees. Inhale, release the hands. Exhale, bend your knees, and you're going to bring your hands to the floor now. And we're going to walk our hands forward until we come into a downward dog. You might want to walk your feet out as well and bring yourself into that nice downward dog position where you're pushing the front of your thighs away from your chest and you're pushing your chest towards the front of your thighs. And maybe turn your toes in a little bit and your heels out and spread those fingers wide and make sure that they're shoulder distance. From there, scooping the belly in, let's walk the dog. So pull your right knee in and then lift your left heel up and push your right heel down. Lift your right heel up, push your left heel down. And just keep slowly and gently walking and feeling that length down the back of the legs. Keep reaching the sit bones up towards the sky, pushing into the floor and feeling that length through your whole body, like you're a V and your tush is all the way at the top of the V. So your force is equal between your hands and your feet, and you're stretching the whole body into opposing planes of movement, like you're going to try and rip the mat in half. And then pick up both heels and gently push them down. And notice if you have any more flexibility in the back of the leg now. From here, we're going to move into our lunge. So we're just going to sweep our right leg off the ground. And then we're going to pull it in towards our nose. And then we're going to reach it out again. We're not reaching it high like we do in our three-legged dog. We're reaching it long here. And then we're going to pull it in. And one more time, reaching it out. And then we're going to pull it in. And we're actually going to place it down on the ground directly underneath our hips or in line with our pelvis. And then we're going to slide the left leg in, curl our body into that angry cat position and pull the foot through. And then rise your body up till you come into this nice kneeling position. I'm going to turn this way so you can see what I'm doing. So your knee is directly underneath your heel. If you need a towel underneath your knee here, go ahead and grab that. You can always just pause the video and it just gives a bit more cushion. And your right toes are in line with your right knee and your body is stacked directly on top of your left knee. And then you're going to squeeze your left glute, keeping your hips level and square. You're gently just going to push the hips forward and feel that nice stretch down the front of your hip flexors. And then exhaling, bringing yourself back up. Feel that strain through the spine. The spine is nice and long. Push the hips forward, squeezing that left glute. And then pushing it back. Stacking the body back up. Keep the belly pulled in. Pushing it forward. And then pushing in, finding the back of that leg to stack you back up. Now from here, we're just going to bring our hands to the floor. And then you're going to turn your back foot in towards the midline of your body, or so that it's underneath your opposite bum cheek, okay? And then you're just going to walk your right foot in towards the center, and then stack the body back up, okay? And again, you might want to just adjust that knee, make sure that you have a little bit of cushioning under it. If you're on the carpet, this one can be a bit uncomfortable. Then you're going to squeeze that glute again and hinge the body forward. So now you're stretching a bit more into the inner thigh or into the adductors, and then you exhale and push yourself up. Try and keep those hips level and the belly pulled in, connected with your core as you stretch it forward. And then pushing it back up. Sometimes a yoga block under the knee can help with this in order to just, if you have bony knees, I get like little bony bursts in my knee. So I like a little bit of extra cushioning under it. And we're just going to push forward one more time using that left glute to push the right hip forward. Or the right, you know what I mean. Stack the body up. And then from here, we're going to bring those hands down again. And we're going to pull that back foot in so that it's now perpendicular with our mat. And we're going to extend the right leg out to the side. Square your shoulders, square your hips, hands stay down, and just sit your bum back a little bit and stretch really deep into those inner thighs, into the adductors. And then bring yourself up, straighten your elbows. And then sit yourself back, bend your elbows a little bit to support you. And then bring yourself back up. We're going to do one more of those. Sit your bum back. Really enjoy this stretch. I love this stretch. For some, it might be a little bit too much. You might not be able to get that deep, and that's okay. Now you're just going to walk your hands forward a little bit so that you're almost in a 4-point kneeling. It's a 3-point kneel, okay? So your hands are directly underneath your shoulders. That right foot is still extended out to the side. And then we're going to take our left hand out to the side. Right hand. Same hand as the foot. I'm doing everything in mirror today, so I'm a bit confused. And then we're just going to push into the floor and open the chest up towards the sky. And if you have a lot of tension in your back, you might find your back gets a little bit of a and then we're just going to slide it, bend the elbow, thread the needle. And then push into the floor, bring yourself squared towards the floor again, and reach the left hand out to the side, or the opposite hand out to the side. Push the right hand into the floor, reach that left hand up towards the ceiling. And then let's thread the needle, sweeping it between the hand and the thigh. And then pushing into the floor, back to your squared position. Now from here, pull the belly in, bend that left knee, bring it in to meet the other so that we're in our 4-point kneeling. And just push your hips back and extend your hands forward into a little bit of a child's pose. And you can bring your toes together and widen your knees a little bit if that feels more comfortable for you. Or you can stay where you are. We're going to bring ourselves up now, and we're going to do the other side. So we're going to go back into our lunge stretch on the opposite side. So hands under your shoulders, knees under your hips. This time, we're going to step forward with the left foot. So step that left foot forward, rise the body up, put that cushion underneath your right knee if you need it. Stack the hips so they're level, and then exhale, squeezing that right glute, push the hips forward. Keeping the spine long, don't jam into that lower back, and then push yourself back using the back of the leg. Push yourself forward using the glute, finding that really nice deep stretch down those hip flexors. And then bringing yourself back, stacking yourself up. Okay, make sure that that knee is tracking over the toes the whole time. There's no point increasing your flexibility if you're not moving in a correct range of movement. Otherwise, you're going to just injure yourself, or you're going to exacerbate your weaknesses in your body. Also, try not to push the belly forward and lose the belly and just let the back sag. You want to keep that belly connected, keep the glute connected, and really just enjoy that deep stretch. And then pushing yourself back up. We're going to do one more here, hips on the hands, stacking the body, and push the hips forward, squeezing that glute, nice stretch in the adductors, and come on back. Right, we're going to bring our hands down to the floor again, and we're going to pull that back foot in so that it's in towards the midline of the body, and then walk our left foot over towards the right side of the mat, and then we're going to walk the hands in. So same thing, we're moving into that stretch again, but it's just going to be a bit deeper into the groin. So you're going to lift the hands away from the floor, squeeze the bum, make sure that knee's going over the toes, and go into that deep inner adductor stretch. And then push yourself back up. So you'll feel this more in the groin. This can be a little bit tricky for boys. So just make sure that you're moving at the range of movement that feels good for you. Make sure you have a cushion under your knee if you've got little niggly knees, and pushing forward and back. So you'll find the muscles on the back of the leg are waking up to push you back to your standard kneeling. So this would be your standard kneel with your knee under your hip and your foot under your knee. And then your other leg, the bum is working to push you forward and stretching that inner thigh. And then coming back up. And let's bring our hands back down to the mat again. And we're going to turn that back foot in even more. So now it's perpendicular with the side of the mat. Walk your hands towards the front and extend that left leg out to the side. So we're in this square box with our shoulders in our hips again. And that left leg is extended out. And we're just going to bend the elbows and sit ourselves back, stretching deep into those medial hamstrings, or the hamstrings on the inside of the thigh and the back of the thigh. And then bring yourself back up, hands under shoulders, and then sit yourself back. Use your breath to move. Using those exhales just help us to relax and release a little bit more every time. So you might find you get deeper and deeper every time you sit it back. And inhaling to come up. We're going to do one more. Sitting it back. Feeling that stretch down the back of the leg, and then bring ourselves up and let's thread that needle. So we're going to start by taking the left hand, the same hand as the leg is extended, pushing into the floor and sweeping that hand up towards the ceiling, rotating the spine. Keep the spine nice and long as you come back in to face the floor, and then sweep that hand in the space between your knee and your hand and thread the needle, bringing your shoulder towards the mat. Push into the floor, bring the hands underneath the shoulders, and then let's reach that right hand out to the side, push into the floor with the left hand and reach the chest up towards the sky. And then exhaling, bringing it back in, sliding it between the hand and the foot as you thread the needle, bringing the shoulder towards the mat. Find the connection with the belly, bring the hands back underneath the shoulders, and then pulling the belly in, bend that left knee back in so that it comes directly underneath your hips. Connect your toes together, push your hips towards your heels, and stretch yourself forward into a nice child's pose. Just stay and breathe there for a minute, maybe feeling your glutes stretching a little bit, maybe feeling your ankles start to get a little bit better with their plantar flexion, so not being on your toes, but rather letting your toes melt into the floor. And then we're going to take one more deep inhale. Try and breathe into the back of your rib cage and the sides of your rib cage, pushing your lungs into those ribs. And then as you inhale, you're going to exhale and then roll your spine away from your thighs. Stack yourself up, and we're going to come to seated. So you're going to come seated, comfortable. Pull the fleshy bits of your bum away from the bones, and you're going to flex your feet towards the sky. And you want your feet to be the same distance as your shoulders, and just slightly wider than your hips. Once you find that stack in that space, if you can't sit comfortably like this, then you can put a slight bend in your knees. But you want to try and find that length in the spine, and then reach the hands towards your toes. Keep pushing the back line of your body down into the floor as you nod your chin and reach your hands towards your toes. Now you might be able to stretch really far forward, but you want to make sure that your pelvis isn't hinging. It's staying stacked and you're getting this stretch in your spine and your shoulders are nice and relaxed. And then you're going to inhale, stack your spine, relax those shoulders away from your ears and come up nice and tall. Let's do that one more time. Nod your chin, flex your spine forward, reach your fingertips down and towards your toes. And then stretch them forward, feeling the whole back line of the leg stretch. So it's not one muscle, it's every single muscle down the back of your body, including your back. And then inhale, pull the belly in, using the back extensors to stack the spine, shoulders away from the ears. From here, we're going to roll down. So keeping those hands parallel with the feet, toes are flexed towards the ceiling. Now we're going to curl the pelvis back, scooping the abdominals and trying to lay the back of the pelvis onto the mat really nice and slowly. So you're going to hit that lower back first, maintain the flexion in the upper thoracic spine, and you're looking towards your toes and your shoulders are relaxed. And then you're going to begin to lengthen the spine all the way. Don't allow the rib cage to flare as you reach those arms overhead and then slightly up towards your ears. Not all the way down, you're going to lose that connection with your abdominals. Then turn the palms to face your toes. Eye gaze follows those hands as you slowly sweep them along the ceiling. Pull the belly button in. Use your abdominals to pick you up and reach over towards those toes. Inhale to stack the spine. Now if you're struggling with this, bend your knees, curl the spine under, plant that lower back and then squeeze your heels away and lengthen down on the mat. Sweep the arms overhead. Arms come over the shoulders, bend the knees if you need to. Nod your chin, eye gaze follows those hands, and then once you get to the upper thoracic flexion with your lower back connected, you slide your feet away, flex your toes, and use that to help carry you forward. And then inhale, stack the spine, shoulders down. Let's do that 2 more times. Rolling down, scooping the abs. Lower back is going onto that mat, shoulders away from the ears. Lengthen the spine, keep the belly connected so you don't pop those ribs. Reach the arms slightly overhead. Feel that nice stretch all the way from your toes to your fingertips. Nod the chin. Eye gaze follows those hands. Belly, 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 belly pulls you up and over towards those toes. You may find you're stretching a bit deeper every time. Inhale, stack it up. Last one. Roll it back. One at a time. Lengthen up. Exhale. Follow those hands. Belly pulls in all the way up and over, and then lengthen the spine up. Relax those shoulders. Okay, from here, we're going to sit with our legs in a froggy position. So you're going to make a wide diamond with your knees. Your soles of your feet are connected and you side up nice and tall. We're going to reach our arms out to the side, and you're just going to sweep your right hand up over towards the left side. And then we're going to rotate towards the floor. Feel that nice stretch in the spine. And then rotate towards the sky. Feeling that nice stretch in the chest. Come back into the side bend. Lengthen your body up. Bring the hand down. Now we're going to sweep the left hand over one time, just into a side bend. Bringing it back down. Right hand over just one time into a side bend. Bringing it down, and we're going to do that on the left side now. So sweep the left hand up. Feel that length as you tip the body over, and you really push into that left sit bone as you reach that left fingertip away and draw a C to the side of your body. Then you're going to just twist and flex the spine facing towards the floor, so you're looking at your right hand. Then you're going to unrotate the spine back to your neutral, and then push into the floor and look towards the sky. And then you're going to come back into that side bend, lift it up, stack the spine, lower the hand, let's flex over to the left. Just a gentle sweep this time. Lengthening up, hand goes down, and on the left, just a gentle sweep. And lift it up. And now we're going to cross our legs. We're going to start with the right in front of the left. And if you want to, you can stack your knees on top of each other here and pull your feet out to the side and push your big toes into the mat. That'll give you a bit of a deeper stretch. Or you can sit just in a normal cross-legged position. Okay, whatever feels good for you. And you're going to lengthen up that spine and just begin to walk your hands forward, lengthening the spine down along the floor. I'm feeling that deep stretch in your right glute muscles. And if you want to, you can walk a little bit to the left and feel that stretch down the right side of the body. And then back into center and walk over to the right and feel that stretch down the left side of the body. And then come back into center. Stretch forward, stretch a little bit deeper in those glutes, and then lift the chest, walk the hands back in, stack the spine back up, and swap sides. So now you've got your left in front of your right. Again, you can cross the knees over each other, open the feet out and push the toes down, or you can just stay in a normal cross-legged. Lift the chest, lengthen the spine, walk the hands forward, stretching and lengthening down onto the mat. Feeling that deep stretch in the hip. A lot of us are really tight in the hips and don't actually know it because you don't think about how important your hip movement is to your daily function, especially your gait. And if you're a runner, tight hips are just not a good thing. And then you may decide you want to walk it over to the right side. Feel a stretch down the left. and into center. And walk it over to the left. Reaching that right hand away from your right hip. And then back into center. And then lift the chest. Walk the hands back in towards the feet. And we're going to come onto our knees. So just kick your feet around behind you and come so that you're kneeling up on your knees with your knees directly underneath your hips, hip distance apart. And from here, we're going to sweep the left hand up, bend towards the left side, and then look down at the outside of our right foot and reach our right hand towards our right heel and twist the body up and back. And then push, find the belly, lift the body up, come back to the side bend and lengthen the spine up. And sweep up over to the left side. Look towards the left foot. Little gentle back bend as you extend back and push your chest towards the sky. And then use your belly to draw yourself back up, back into your side bend, and lengthen all the way up. Now from there, curl your toes under, and then sit your bum back onto your heels, put your hands on the floor, and then lift your knees. So you come into this low squat position. And really take a minute to just feel that weight on your heels and stretch those ankles into that dorsiflexion. You stretch the front of the shin and the back of the calf. And then from here, you're going to glue your belly to your knees, and you're going to gently extend the legs and tip the body forward and push your heels into the floor and come into your forward fold. Maybe you want to bend your knees a little bit here and then extend them again and see if you can stretch a little deeper. Maybe you want to bring your hands to the back of your calves as you bend those knees and then straighten them and pull onto the back of those knees in order to stretch that little bit deeper. Let's do that one more time. And extend, contract the quad muscles to protect the knees, lengthen the spine. And then relax the hands, relax the knees, relax the body. Come into this deep, relaxed forward fold. Maybe fold your hands into your elbows and pedal your right knee in, and then your left, and then your right, and then your left, and then still both knees, keeping them soft. Release the hands and begin to roll the spine all the way back up. Stacking all your vertebral spaces like keys on a piano. Roll those shoulders away from your ears. Pull the belly in, lengthen the spine. Find that connection in your quads and your glutes to stack your hips directly over your ankles. Draw the shoulders down and back so that they're directly over your hips. Pull the ears away from the shoulders and find that string through the crown of your head to lengthen your whole spine. Maybe you feel your body is longer after that practice. Maybe you feel you've grown half an inch. But it's a really good way to just stretch out the whole body and also maintain that connection with our stabilizing muscles in our core. So I hope you enjoyed that, and we'll see you again.